What's going on, guys? Clutch Master J, clutching it all damn day, every damn day for everyone out there on YouTube. As you see, guys, I'm playing MLB 16 The Show, Cubs versus the Indians, and I am the Cubs because I predict them to win the World Series. Now, I am playing on Legend Mode right here. I didn't get the beginning of the gameplay because something happened and glitched out, but as you see here, I'm using John Lester, and I'm also now going against Trevor Bauer in this matchup. I was going to do the Game 1 starting matchup, but I completely forgot and I wasn't really paying attention. I was just getting right into the game. But John Lester is starting game 1 for the Cubs, but Corey Kluber is starting for the Indians, and I just completely forgot to put him in. But to start off myself, I am a Mets fan. It was very heartbreaking to see the Mets lose this year. You know, they had some injuries. They called up a lot of rookies to step up, and they actually ended up making it in. And to go against the Giants and get shut out by Madison Bumgarner was just a heartbreak. But it was, in my opinion, one of the best games in the playoffs this year. But after the Mets lost, I was rooting for the Cubs or the Dodgers because last year, previous in 2015, the Mets knocked out the Dodgers and the Cubs in the playoffs, and I wanted to just root for them because, you know, they deserve a chance because they were doing phenomenal in 2015. And especially the Cubs, because the Cubs, they just have an overall great team, and they haven't won in over 100 years, so I would just love to see them win. But either way, I'll be still satisfied because we haven't seen a matchup like this in a long time, you know, especially the Indians. The Indians haven't been in nowhere really the playoffs and whatsoever. And the last time they won a championship was 1920 and 1948. So it's gonna be, it's something to watch. It's something new, and it's gonna be someone who hasn't won in a while. So I'll be happy for either team that actually ends up winning. But to see the Cleveland Indians go this far is pretty surprising to me because they're a very underrated team. They weren't supposed to do like as good as they were doing now in the end of the year, as all the analysis would say. But they just came through, bonded as a team, and they're just a solid, average, great baseball team. It's just all they have chemistry. I mean, they don't have like Mike Trout and Bryce Harper, but like they still just have an overall solid, great team, and that's how they bond. Because with the Cubs, I mean, team chemistry wise, I think they get along fine, but they just have Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Addison Russell. They have all these phenomenal players, and that's just the difference between these two. It's going to come down to studs and chemistry, and that's why I love the playoffs so much because it doesn't matter. It's like a new season, and it's just always you never know what could happen. It could go such a different way. Like it's just so amazing to watch. Any sport in general, it's just crazy how much crazy stuff can happen, and that's why the playoffs are so great. But right here, you see John Lester. I almost got in a little bit of trouble here, and I had to go talk to him on the mound, and he actually got out of it. So, but yeah, it's gonna like the way this game is going right now, as you see me playing. It's gonna be tight like this the whole game. It's just gonna be just like this in real life. That's how I expected it to be. But the Indians, like, I can't say that they don't have a chance of winning because they definitely do. They almost went into this World Series being undefeated in the playoffs so far. So it's gonna be a crazy matchup. As you see right here, I just dropped the seed into left center field, and I was about to go home, but I didn't want to risk it. Only had 67 speed, and Chris Bryant comes out right here and knocks a single into right, and then I take the lead right there like that. But yeah, just like this. This is how the game's gonna be. It's gonna come down to the clutch situation. What team is gonna come up clutch? And that's basically what it comes down to. But I feel like the Cubs are still going to be more hungry to win than the Indians. Not saying that the Indians won it all, but what happened to the Cubs last year, getting swept in the NLCS against the Mets, was just a heartbreaking experience to go through. We all know when we play sports, a heartbreaking thing that happens like that. And, you just can't wait to come back strong and just get it because now they're back in that same spot, but they now in the World Series, they got past the NLCS and now they're in the World Series. So now they're going to want to get that win and do it for their fans. Now, it was funny to me that we're talking about on sports radio shows that they should get Henry Road-Gardner, the fictional kid player who was a pitcher for the Cubs in the movie Rookie of the Year, to throw out the first pitch for the Cubs on their homestand, but he did it actually like last Saturday, so it would not be really surprising, it's just going to be him throwing it out, but he actually did throw it out last Saturday, and that would be funny. And then they have Charlie Sheen that they said he would dress up as a Wild Thing and throw out the first pitch for the Indians. Now, I don't think Charlie Sheen is down to do this because after the whole incident, him coming out with all this, with him having AIDS and all that. So, but that would be funny if that actually happened. But it would be kind of funny because it could be based off two fictional movies. Rookie of the Year and Major League. But this World Series will be one to remember, in my opinion, because every team is going to fight for every single pitch, every single play that matters, and going to go all out. Because the last time the Cubs were actually in the World Series was 1945, and they lost, of course. And the last time they actually won was 1907 and '08. And that was when they won back-to-back years. They were the first major league team to ever do that, win consecutive back-to-back titles. And the last time the Indians were in it was 1997, and they lost to the Florida Marlins in Game 7. And that must have been heartbreaking for them. But it's going to be a great battle because you never know. They might not ever see a chance in their career to actually get back to the spot for both teams. But Trevor Bauer, who's actually pitching against me in this game I'm playing right here, is insane. And it shows you that all the Indians players want to win this because Trevor Bauer is the one who pitched against the Blue Jays, and he had a bloody finger. He had to come out because his finger was bleeding so badly that the umpire had to take him out because he thought he was actually going to, who knows, maybe get his finger amputated. Now, basically what happened to his finger, I don't know the whole story, what happened, but basically he took a drone and he was trying to like mess around with it. I guess maybe fly it around, maybe like, I don't know what he was trying to do with it basically, but basically he cut his finger and it was bleeding. And that was a play right there, which was crazy. I didn't know the CP would actually do that. It deflected off my shortstop, and then the guy went to third, and I threw him out. But that was kind of crazy happened right there. But I tell you guys, when you play Legend on MLB The Show, it's really realistic because like there's some of the things that the CPU does and actually doesn't swing out. Like they're very smart. But as you see right there, I started warming up Rondon in my bullpen, and John Lester was getting some trouble, but I got out of it with Lester, and he did phenomenal. As you see, Ben Zobrist ripped one right there. I hate Ben Zobrist because he was on the Royals last year, but he should be happy that I'm rooting for him to win it this year because, I want to see the Cubs get it because they deserve to win, after what the Mets done to them, and they really deserve to win. Nothing really happened in the 7th inning of this game, so I brought it to the 8th, and we had Rendon, and I brought him in. Lester, did a great job, and Rendon did get into some trouble right here with one out, and I had to take him out, so I decided to put Travis Wood in because he had the greater matchup going in to this at bat. Now, what happens here is crazy because he gets a fly ball, so there's one out. He's gonna tag up the whoever's on third base. Now, Zobrist doesn't have the greatest arm, and so he flings it in. I didn't know he was gonna have that good of a shot, and he just gets in there safe. It was upsetting, and he tied up the game. But as you see how the way the gameplay is going with me playing against the CPU or Legend or whatever, it just comes down. I feel like the World Series is really going to be based off as this game performance that I had right here. It's going to come down to every pitch, and it's just going to be a fight to the end because both teams want it so much, and like I could understand why they do want it. But in this at bat right here, this was ridiculous. I come up, I threw a cutter right off the plate, and a four seam right on the black, doesn't call it. Threw another pitch right here, that was way in, but whatever. So I had to throw a strike. So I throw a strike trying to, and I hit it again on the black, and the blue doesn't call it. So the ump was rigging the game the whole time, but Travis Wood did get a fly ball right here, and he got me out of the inning. Really do hope the umpires actually have a good zone in the World Series, for example, because I want to see, not a tight strike zone, nice and open, make everyone have to protect and swing the bat. Because if they, try to like, give a certain zone to certain people, it's just going to be very, very annoying. So I hope the umpires do a good job of umpiring this game so it could be very fair and even. But some of these umpires, though, I feel like they sometimes get intimidated by the pitcher, say, for example, because during the Mets game, when it was Noah Syndergaard versus Madison Bumgarner, during that game, the wild card game, I swear to you, that umpire was afraid of Madison Bumgarner. Madison Bumgarner, when he didn't get that call in the corner, he would give him the dirtiest look to the umpire and just stare him down like he wanted to kill him. And that was annoying to me because the umpire did make up a few calls anyway to the Mets, but still, it was ridiculous. As you see, the past batter I brought in, Grimm, I felt like he would have been better to get the job done right here. I didn't feel like putting in Chapman yet. If I went back and played again, I think I would have put him in, but I thought he would have got the job done to get me through this inning, and he would have the better matchup with all the batters because he was a right-handed pitcher and Chapman was a lefty, so I thought he would get the job done. But I did get an out right here, getting that second out, trying to get out of this inning to go into the bottom of the ninth, and we get him on a ground ball right there, and we go into the bottom of the ninth. But in this World Series, though, I think it's going to come down to the small things. I don't think there's going to be that many home runs or crazy, like, plays. I think it's just going to come down to the smallest things, if someone executes on a bunt, if someone, makes that, routine ground ball play. It's just going to come down to the smallest things, in my opinion. I feel like that's how the way it's going to go. And that was a dirty bare hand that was just made by the third baseman right there. But as you see, we're going into the bottom of the 10th, and I still had Grimmin, and I don't know. If I was going to the bottom 10th, I was going to be able to pinch hit him, so I thought I would be able to get him through it. As you see, I walked that guy, but he was kind of struggling. So Grimm was struggling. I had to go to the bullpen, so I brought in Zach Roscup. Now, he had the better matchup, a lefty, and I thought he would get the job done, and he came in clutch here. He got me a ground ball, and I ended up getting a double play. Came in really clutch right there. And I got 2 outs, trying to put it in the bag right here. Got a strike in the corner. Gonna go for the same pitch. He didn't budge at it, and I got him swinging on that. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. I got Addison Russell coming out to play, and Zach McAllister is coming in to pitch for the Indians now. I don't know, maybe Addison Russell could be the hero or maybe the MVP of this series for the Cubs. We might not know, but it'll come down to just a single pitch could change it all, and it actually could happen anywhere in any of the games, so it'll be very critical. But Addison Russell, he came in real clutch for me right here, especially on Legend. I mean, it's hard to hit with him. Hanging changeup, the last one to the left center bleachers, and he came in clutch for the Cubs, and he ended up winning it on a walk-off. Now, this was a great game. I hope the World Series goes just like this, and even go into extra innings, because it'll be very interesting to watch. Now, I predict that the Chicago Cubs, they'll win it in 6. I feel like it's going to be a long series. It might go to Game 7, but I say the Cubs will win it in 6. I feel like it's going to be a very tight, all the games are going to be very tight, and that's what I predict to happen, and hopefully you heard it first from me. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe for more. Tell me what you think in the comments. Who's going to win the World Series? Who's your favorite player in the Cubs? Who's your favorite player in the Indians? Or who's your favorite team in general? But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. It's Clutch Master J, clutching it all damn day, every damn day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's